Hello. Hello and good morning. At the moment, sunshine in the morning. Oh yeah, who's this then? Who's this, I wonder? Hello, you. I have to say hello to you as well, do I? I've already said hello to you. I've already said hello. I love you. Yeah. I know we've been out, haven't we? Good boy. I'm just making a video now, Bode. Hello. Okay, yet another my thoughts. I've got 2 or 3 actually to cover, which I'm going to cover now. I'm having myself a Slurpee, having myself a fag, same as normal, and I thought I'd do them all now, rather than sort of leave them till later. For some reason I'm very, very tired today. I didn't sleep well last night. I cannot get quite with it at the moment. So yeah, I'm very tired. So you have to forgive me. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 to do. I'll do the first one now, and I think the 4 others I'm going to put all in one. No, I won't. I'll make 2 separate ones and then one with 3. How's that? Okay, this comes from Paula R, who says, serial killers. Are their crimes due to their upbringing, i.e. violence done to them or witnessed by them, etc.? Or are they just sick and twisted? I believe we're made up, all of us are made up from our environment, you know, whatever our environment may be. And I think our environment is our grown up stage, is our parents, but it's also where we live. It's the friends we hang around with. It's the experiences that we have or don't have. It's the way we're treated by teachers, by friends, by family. Lots and lots of different things, really. It's interesting to look at the mind of a psychopath or the mind of a serial killer, because that's what you asked about the serial killer. Very interesting to look at the mind of a serial killer, because there's lots of people that have had a terrible time, really terrible time growing up, and they've grown up to be lovely, lovely people. So it's not true, is it? It's not necessarily true that things are going to just follow on. Because they've had bad things in their life doesn't mean they're going to be a bad person. You know, that doesn't ring true. Sometimes it doesn't help, because if somebody, I don't really like your term sick and twisted, but if somebody's got a mental illness, I mean, certainly their crimes are sick and twisted, so yeah, that's fair enough. If somebody's got a psychological disorder, mental illness, which often goes undiagnosed, and they're either treated like shit or they perceive themselves to be treated like shit all their life. They've got a grudge to bear and they want to do something about that. Either make a name for themselves, do copycat killings, or, you know, this hatred for people perhaps builds up like a volcano and it's got to explode and it's got to come out of them. So there are instances and circumstances where I think your environment and perhaps bad parenting or whatever does come into it. But it's very much divided, I see in my mind, it's very much divided between those sort of people that have had perhaps bad parenting or bad environments or whatever, and those with a clinical mental illness that are going to be killers anyway. Because those people there on that side may have had a fantastic upbringing. They may have, you know. So it just doesn't, it's not necessarily true all the time, certainly not. Not in my opinion, my view. If you look at it on a lesser scale, much lesser scale, I've got a friend whose parents are hoarders, and they go from floor to ceiling in every room. And in those rooms is a little bit of a pathway, and they go sideways down these paths. And nobody would want to live like that, perhaps, but they do. But their son is an adult. His place is so clean, so minimal, that he's gone the opposite way. He has nothing. He owns nothing. No ornaments, no nothing. Just clean surfaces, that's it. So he's gone the opposite way, but has he been affected by them as hoarders? Well, yeah, quite clearly. Quite clearly. He's worried and concerned that he's going to become a hoarder, so much so that he won't let a single thing into his house. Not a thing. So yeah, he is affected, isn't he? Of course. But that's on a much lesser scale. And I also know somebody, her mum is very, very obese. Very obese. She herself is as skinny as a matchstick. And she diets a lot as well. So she is affected by worrying that she's going to be big like her mum. So I think, there's a lot in it, isn't there, really? There is a lot of impacts that your environment does to you, or your upbringing, your experiences, whatever. I just class it all as your environment. There is a huge amount. But then, of course, you've got people that, lovely grandparents, just nice, gentle people. You've got lovely mum and dad, nice, gentle people. They have 5 children. 4 of them are lovely, gentle people, and 1 of them is a murderer. So you will always get that. You always will get somebody, your words are sick and twisted, you'll always get somebody that's capable of doing that if conditions are right, if their mental condition is right, and if other conditions, how they see the world is treating them in a poorly way or whatever. So yeah, Pullara, thank you. Serial killers, are their crimes due to upbringing, i.e. violence done to them and witnessed by them, etc., or just sick and twisted? The violence done to them, yeah, I mean, again, if they're treated like that, that becomes the norm, so perhaps they feel that that is what they should be doing. There is a lot of rubbish to say that people that have read certain novels, people that have watched certain DVDs, people that watch horror films, turning into horrible people, murderers or whatever, and that's rubbish, absolute rubbish, really. You can watch a comedian, can't you? But you're not going to make the world laugh. You can stand and watch a glass blower. I think they're fascinating. But I'm never going to be a glass blower, just because I study, not study, but I do study. I watch a glass blower and I study what they do, and I think this is incredible. Or if you was to read a book about a serial killer, will you become a serial killer? Very, very doubtful. So certain things, a lot of it is really just down to the person themselves. So either that person allows their environment to affect them, or that person does have some sort of mental illness and is going to do it anyway. That's my views, Paula. Okay, I'm going to do another one now because Terry has asked me, bless him. I've got to lean over and turn the camera off and turn it on. I'll be back in a bit. Cheers.